Christos voskres, voistino voskres. Christ is risen. Indeed, truly He is risen. This is Father Basil again doing another podcast. Hope everyone's doing well wherever you're listening from today. And this is the third Sunday of Easter, the Sunday of the Mare-bearing women. And what I want to talk about today is this gospel passage from the letter of St. James, the epistle of James, when he talks about trials and temptations. And this is what St. James says. God will bless you if you don't give up when your faith is being tested. He will reward you with a glorious life, just as He rewards everyone who loves Him. Don't blame God when you are tempted. God cannot be tempted by evil, and He doesn't use evil to tempt others. We are tempted by our own desires that drag us off and trap us. Our desires make us sin, and when sin is finished with us, it leaves us dead. Don't be fooled, my dear friends. Every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father, who created all the lights in the heavens. He is always the same and never makes dark shadows by changing. He wanted us to be His own special people, and so He sent a true message to give us new birth. So, this is a very important passage, I think, that we should try to understand. That when we sin, it's not God who caused us to sin. God doesn't tempt us. It's the devil that tempts us with sin. God has nothing to do with sin, because God cannot be evil. God cannot be the one that causes us to sin. It's not possible because of God being love and truth and total mercy. So we often like to blame God for the things in our life. We blame God for our state in life, our health, our relationships, our financial status, or whatever it may be. We like to blame God all the time. We say, well, why aren't you looking after me, God? Why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you protecting me? And we have to realize that God is there for us. God is looking after us, but He's not going to make our own decisions for us. We make our own decisions. We have to decide whether to do good or evil in this life. We are the ones that have to decide what we're going to do to serve God or not serve God. If we don't serve God, we're serving the devil. We can't serve two things at once. We either serve God or we serve the devil. So, if we are not doing what God desires, we're basically doing what the devil desires for us. So that's very. We have to make sure that we understand this. We can either serve God or we can serve the devil. We can't do both. So, if we say that we are sinners, that means we are not serving God. That we are not doing what God has asked us to do. As James said again, we are tempted by our own desires that drag us off and trap us. Our desires make us sin. And when sin is finished with us, it leaves us dead. So, what are our desires? Our desires are, things that just like Adam and Eve, who committed the great original sin, that desire is pride. That desire is wanting to be like God, wanting to be God. And that's the devil's sin as well. The devil wanted to be as powerful as God. And what happened is that the devil was kicked out of heaven and could never return because of his hatred for God. So when we are desiring sin, when we are desiring things that are not from God, that means we do not desire God. And that's what keeps us out of the heavenly kingdom. So I think this is a very important message for us. God does not tempt us. Only the devil tempts us. God cannot give us sin. Only the devil gives us sin. And when we follow the devil, that means that we are rejecting God. So let's not reject God. Let's always follow what God wants us to do in this life. God bless you. Have a good day.